Hello, 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 Christmas Flixers. Welcome back to season 6 of Chicks on Christmas Flicks, where we can never have too many Christmas movies. We can only have not enough Christmas movies. Hey everybody, I'm KL Brady, back for week 3 of Christmas in July. I have to tell you, this weekend I did not do a single project. No projects. That doesn't mean I wasn't busy, because things are kind of crazy at work. But I did not do any house projects. I hope you guys are proud of me. I am done. I'm not doing any more through the end of this year. That means no putting shelves up, no painting. Well, okay, so I'm going to paint a little bit, but I'm going to paint like 10 minutes worth of paint. And I am going to hang a picture. But that's, stuff to come up. But no major projects, no major painting projects like whole rooms. No, none of that. I am tired. I have figured out that I'm just done. And actually, I'm not as good as house projects as I'd like to think I am. I would like to think of myself as the DIY queen. I'm not, and that is okay. That is perfectly fine. So anyway, today we're going to talk about Christmas in July. I had something on my heart that I wanted to talk about. I don't know. I just talk about it with you guys because, I talk about it with you guys. But it was so crazy. Like over the week, maybe a week or two ago, I was scrolling through YouTube and I found a video from somebody. Now, this is somebody that I once admired. I'm not calling out any names or anything like that, but it is definitely somebody I once admired and somebody who I felt like had not caused a change in me, but helped to cause a change in me, helped me to see things in a more clear manner so that I acted in a better manner. And I definitely feel like my life is better for having listened to this person, right? But so, when I see their name come up in my YouTube feed, I always, click on the link and listen. And this one time this person was speaking, and I had a strong, like almost visceral reaction to something that they said. And I really had to sit back with myself and figure out, how is it that this person that I once admired, that this person that I once, looked up to, that this person who to me like held like such an example, could cause me to feel like that, right, in just seconds. I was just completely turned off. I shut off the video, I turned off YouTube, and I went off doing something else. But the reaction kind of hung in my heart. So anyway, after, kind of examining myself and trying to figure out, was it something that if there was something about me that caused it? Because technically, in principle, I cannot say that this person was wrong. Absolutely not. Like in principle, I don't think that they're wrong. However, what I did figure out is this. I do think you can be principled and kind, right? And this person was being principled for sure, but 1000% unkind, mean, almost to the point where I was just, like I said, completely turned off by what they were saying. So it was just something that stuck with me, is that you can be principled, but you can also be kind. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. And just because you are unprincipled or you are principled does not give you the right to be unkind. And that is something that, like I said, sticks with me. And ever since that moment, like I've kind of examined my own actions in that light. Being principled, yes, you can be principled. It's great to be principled, but it doesn't give you the license to be unkind. It doesn't give you the license to be unkind. And so that was kind of my lesson of the week, right? The difference between principled and unkindness. And being unkind is not necessary. And even if you're being principled, you don't have to be unkind. You do not have to be unkind. Everybody out there listening, you don't have to be unkind. You can still be principled and be kind. Those two aren't mutually exclusive. And one, being principled doesn't give you the right to be unkind. Just saying that. So you might be in the right, but you're still wrong. Right? You're still wrong if you're not treating people well, if you're not being kind, if you're not being loving, especially if you're a Christian. Just saying. Okay. Now, that's it. That's all I have to say. Anyway, work crazy as usual. We're going to get on with the episode today because I don't have like a lot of new movies to talk about, honestly. I did have, some work stuff going on over the weekend. I did have to work this weekend, and I had a long day Friday, a really long day Friday. So I didn't get to do the show like I wanted to do, but like I said, today we're going to dig into week 3 of Christmas in July. A little bit of news here. We've got some stuff on ho holiday headlines coming up. Also, I was able to finish watching Mistletoe Murders, and I watched Unwrapping Christmas, Mia's Prince. And so I wanted to give you some feedback on those two things. So we got a lot to talk about today, despite the fact that I don't have a whole lot of new movies to talk about. Anyway, so let's get to it. First things first, St. Nick shout-outs. As always, I love to begin the show with a shout-out to listeners. This is my favorite tradition. I mean, I still can't believe I'm 6 seasons in. I am truly thankful to anyone who listens to this show. Honestly, who takes time out, because I know how much effort sometimes it takes when you've got so much going on in your life, how much time it really takes to take time out of your day to listen to a podcast about Christmas movies, which aren't really in season right now except for Christmas in July. So I'm just thankful. I'm thankful to everyone. I truly am thankful to anyone who takes the time to listen to the show. And I do want to have, this year, I feel like I want to have an anniversary giveaway of some kind. And to get the giveaway, all you will have to do is just DM me, tweet me, whatever. But I'll figure out what that giveaway is going to be. I might have to have something made, but I'm just so excited to do this. And so anyway, thank you for listening. Anyway, today, I know I said I was going to do a longer version of St. Nick shoutouts, but as you can hear, I was busy. This has been a crazy week at work. I've actually become a people manager. Between Thursday and Friday, I went from managing no people and just having to worry about myself to becoming a people manager on Friday. And today is going to be I've got assignments. I got a lot on my plate. So, I did not get to do the St. Nick shout-outs, the long version today. Today is going to be the short version, but I do want to shout out 5 listener locations who have been checking in over the past few weeks. Remember, I don't know who you are, but I know where you live. And the first location is Wake Forest, North Carolina. Wake Forest, North Carolina. Thank you so much for joining the show. Number 2, Odenton, Maryland. Odenton, Maryland, in my home state. Odenton, Maryland, thank you so much for joining the show. Number 3, Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas. Thank you so much for joining the show. Number 4 is Frankfurt, Germany. Frankfurt, Germany. Listen, you guys are holding it up. One of my favorite artists is on tour over in Europe right now, and the response that he is getting is just crazy. And when he was in Germany, so many people came out. I mean, it was insane. And I was like, wow. Like, I wish I could have like a fifth of the people who came out and supported him. So when I see Frankfurt, Germany on my list of locations, and it's one of the locations that listens kind of more often than not, I thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate you listening to the show. And number 5 is Tupper Lake, New York. Tupper Lake, New York, thank you for joining the show. Tupper Lake is actually new to me. Like, not only did I not know it existed, but I think this is the first time I've actually seen that location pop up on the show. So I'm thankful for everybody who tunes in and listens. That is it for St. Nick shoutouts. It is time for Ho 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 holiday headlines. All right, so listen to this. So I got a few things. Now I don't have very much, but I have a few things. Okay. So this first thing is I loved because I love this movie. So we have the best Christmas movie of all time, according to Entertainment Weekly. All right. So the Entertainment Weekly just released a list recently, and the number 1 Christmas movie on that list. Which one? Which one do you think it is? Which one do you think it is? Like, I have a lot of like Christmas favorites, and of course, you know, I love my Christmas rom-coms on Hallmark and Lifetime, etc., etc., etc. But I do have like Christmas classics that I have to watch every year at Christmas time. One is The Sound of Music. I watch that every year Christmas time. Sometimes during the holidays, I watch it all the way through, whether it comes on TV or whether I watch my DVD. I have to watch it. It's like a classic. Peanuts Christmas. I watch Peanuts Christmas. I watch Peanuts New Year. Like, I watch all the Peanuts movies from between Halloween and the end of the year. Like, those are on steady rotation. I always have to do that. It's like a tradition. So, what movies like that for you are the tradition? You guys have to ping me on in the DMs or send me a tweet and just let me know, like, what are your favorite like classic Christmas movies you watch every year that you cannot go without watching. Now, the number 1 movie on the Entertainment Weekly list is actually my number 1 movie that I have that I actually have on DVD in like multiple versions of DVD, and I watch it every year, whether it's on TV. There's one channel that I think on Christmas Day or Thanksgiving, one of those holidays, they like play it all day long, literally all day long, back to back to back to back to back, and they play like the colorized version of it, which is kind of neat, but I actually like the black and white version. Anyway, so the number 1 movie of all time was named It's a Wonderful Life, a 1946 film directed by Frank Capra and starring Jimmy Stewart. It is described as a masterpiece, and I would not disagree. A masterpiece that emphasizes the true meaning of the holidays. I really love that movie. So here's a clip from what Entertainment Weekly had to say about It's a Wonderful Life. If you think Frank Capra's holiday staple is feel-good hooey, watch it again. It is not feel-good hooey. That's my commentary. It's funny, heartwarming, profound, and an annual reminder that the holidays are about more than presents. Amen. It is the reason for the season. Thanks to Jimmy Stewart's turn as George Bailey. If you don't have a sugar plum in your throat by the end credits, you need to come in from the cold. I mean, that is the truth, Ruth. Seriously. Every time I watch it, I get choked up. And I used to cry, but now I just get choked up, especially at the end when they ring the bell. You know what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh, I love that movie. Anyway, so other movies on the list include, and some of these are my favorites, some of these are not. A Christmas Story. I usually watch that at least once a year. A Charlie Brown Christmas, of course. I mean, that's on repeat. Elf. I've watched that. I know people love this movie. I've probably watched it twice. The first time I was annoyed. I really didn't get the humor of it all. But the second time I got more of the humor of it. So definitely it's not something I seek out. But if it's on when I'm watching TV, I'll usually just leave it on. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I never miss that. Those are the top 5. And then other popular movies in the list include Love Actually, which I absolutely love. Home Alone, also great Christmas movie, and Die Hard. Now, there is a big debate about whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie. In my humble opinion, Die Hard is definitely a Christmas movie. It is action-packed, a little bloody Christmas movie, but it's a Christmas movie. I love that movie. Now, I'll watch Die Hard any time of the year, but it goes in the spirit of Christmas 365, right? You could have Christmas any day of the year. Okay. Now, the next piece of news I have is on Mistletoe Murders. So listen to this. So Mistletoe Murders, I don't know if you guys have seen it. If you don't have Hallmark Plus yet, you're missing. You're really missing out. Like, I would get it and watch Mistletoe Murders, and now I've watched all the episodes. The last time I think I spoke, I watched 2. Now I've watched all 6. And so I have a few things to talk about later on regarding Mistletoe Murders. But the news around Mistletoe Murders is that it started on Hallmark Plus. It was a Hallmark Plus only series. Well, this season it is going to be on the Hallmark channel, and they're going to show not only season 1 but season 2. So I'm really excited about Mistletoe Murders actually premiering on the Hallmark channel, and then it will actually show on Hallmark Plus, like a lot of the other shows that they put on the Hallmark channel. So I'm kind of excited about that. I really want everybody to experience Mistletoe Murders. I love cozy mysteries. Like, I love Hallmark Mystery Channel. I watch pretty much every series that has come out on there. There's probably I would say probably 2 or 3 series that didn't really catch on with me. But for the most part, like most of their series, I've watched over and over and over and over and over again. And they put it on, I'll watch it like I never watched it before. Like Murder She Baked, right? It doesn't matter how many times they show that. I'll watch that movie every single time. Another one is the Morning Show Mysteries. I love that series. Completely love it. We'll watch it. I even love like Aurora Teagarden. Like, so I'll go back every now and then and I'll watch that whenever they have marathons on. So there's a lot of series that I really, really like and that I'll watch. And there's a few that I won't, but for the most part I will. So, you guys have to watch Mistletoe Murders. Again, I'll talk about it a little bit later, about how it's structured and everything. I just didn't know. I didn't realize it. So, anyway, once I talk about it, I think a lot more people will be really interested in that. Also, okay, coming up, another piece of holiday headlines is Hallmark is kicking off the festive season with its Keepsake Ornament premiere, July 12th through the 20th. So it started on the 12th, which is 2 days ago. Obviously, I didn't put my show. I planned to do my show Saturday morning, and then things came up. But the annual event unveils more than 250 new keepsake ornaments from the 2025 collection. Listen to this, including a Welcome to Elfville, first in series ornament, Welcome to Elfville, magic storytellers, new Halloween and licensed show toppers, miniature tree toppers designed just for the mini show toppers trees. Okay, so I'm excited to see the keepsake ornament collection. I do have a few keepsake ornaments. I don't have as many as I would like to have, but I do have a few. And of course, so I think Hallmark's the only one licensed to produce the Peanuts ornaments. So I have a few Peanuts ornaments, but and of course Snoopy, predominantly Snoopy. But I'm really excited to see what else is in the collection this year. And then check this out. A last piece of news for today is going to be around teasers. So Hallmark has released a few teasers for their upcoming countdown to Christmas movies, including teasers for Mistletoe Murders, right? Which I'll talk about a little bit more in a minute. Finding Mr. Christmas and Holiday Touchdown, a bull story. I've got Chicago Bulls on my brain. Holiday Touchdown, a Bill story. Okay, so I will put the link to the 3 teasers on my Twitter page. Just search hashtag Chicks on Christmas Flicks, and you will find the teasers if you want to watch them. Okay, I'm going to do that as soon as I get off the show today. All right, that is it for Ho 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 holiday headlines. So today, this is really all about what we're watching in week 3 of Christmas in July. Okay, I mean, can you believe that it's week 3 and we only get like one more week of Christmas in July before the Christmas in July seasons end, and then we'll be in August? I can't even believe that. Like this, it's like in certain areas of life, time is just dragging on. Like it's like we're still in July, and then other phases of life, time is just moving so fast. So, it all balances out, but time surely passes and you can't get it back. You know what I mean? That's one of those hard lessons to learn. Okay. So what I wanted to talk about today was Mistletoe Murders and Unwrapping Christmas, Mia's Prince. Okay. All right. So first, Mistletoe Murders. I finished watching Mistletoe Murders over the weekend. I laid in bed Saturday morning, didn't budge, and sat there and watched the rest of it. Let me tell you, I actually really loved this series. I wasn't sure about how I was going to feel about it, because I told you guys about my former career, right? Even though I've been out of the business for a couple decades, right? I still, every time I watch a movie about spies or about FBI or law enforcement or whatever, and I see that it doesn't really kind of align with what I know to be true to life, like it always kind of shuts me down. It usually shuts me down. Like I usually cannot suspend disbelief, right? But in this case, I was able to do that, which was remarkable, and I think I attribute that to Sarah Jew and her playing this character, right? But Mistletoe Murders, to me, is like, okay, so what it was to me after I watched the whole series and look back on it, it's like a cozy mystery show on Hallmark Mystery, right? Every show is like half an episode, and if you put them together, it's like one Hallmark Mystery movie, right? So in the series where they have 6 parts, it's basically 3 mysteries, right? And it would be like if you were watching like an episode of Morning Show Murders or something like that, right? It would be like watching a Hallmark cozy mystery. It's not bloody. It's a little different though. Definitely a little different because of the background of the person. I would say, I don't think there's really a parallel, except, and especially because this is kind of all centered around Christmas, right? It's all centered around the holidays and this Christmas store and what goes on in this kind of small sleepy town, right? Around this Christmas store. And some really kind of interesting murders. I'll say that. So what I would say is, one, Hallmark, if you're listening, I would make that a series like every other series. You can watch Mistletoe Murders any time of the year. Especially, it's not really, to me, just a Christmas series, right? It can be more of a cozy mystery series like any other series on the channel. I would run with it like that, honestly, because people like me will watch it all the time no matter what. I can't even tell you how many times I've watched, the other mysteries that are on. I mean, pretty much every weekend. If there's not a movie on a Hallmark channel that I like, I'm usually watching a mystery. And I'm watching like Murder, She Wrote, Matlock, like all of those things, and then whatever comes on after. That's me. So, I mean, my life kind of centers around maybe 3 or 4 channels. I don't know why I have so much. Like when I want to watch other stuff, like I want to watch Disney Plus, or I want to watch Prime, like when I want to watch The Chosen or something like that, then I want to have them for when I want to watch stuff. But truly, my day in and day out, like every day, I probably watch 4 channels. 2 of them are Hallmark channels. That's crazy, but it's true. Anyway, a creature of habit. It's just kind of where I am at life. Like these are the kind of shows I want to. I don't want to watch crazy shows with a lot of crazy content. Now, I'm just at that point where the kind of content I want to watch is on the Hallmark channel. It's on Hallmark Mystery. It's even sometimes on Hallmark Family. I'll watch that. I'm not really into the Waltons and Little House on the Prairie. I'm sorry. Those were not great days for Black people, just saying. So I have a tough time like going way back and watching stuff like that. But I do love When Calls the Heart. Again, not great times for Black people, but I actually do really love that series. So that shows that if I like the content, I can kind of love the series, right? If I love the actors and the storylines and stuff like that, it doesn't matter when the time is. But there are certain things, historical things, that I'm just like, no, I won't watch it. Anyway, that's a me problem. That's not an everybody problem, right? Anyway, so I wanted to say that, like, watch Mistletoe Murders like you would any other Hallmark cozy mystery. Take it in the vein of that. Every 2 episodes equals 1 movie. To me, that's how I took it. And so after you watch the 6 episodes, you'll basically have seen 3 movies. And they have cliffhangers at the end. So I'm glad, like, I watched it on Hallmark Plus, where I didn't have to sit and wait for that cliffhanger to play. Like, I hope they do this movie like they do holidays. Like holidays now for Christmas in July, they're playing 2 episodes at a time. I hope they play 2 episodes at a time when they bring it to the Hallmark channel. Just saying. So anyway, I love Mistletoe Murders. I love the main character. I love Sarah Jew. If you have not seen that movie yet, watch it. But don't think that you can only, like, it's only a holiday movie. It really is not. It's more of a cozy mystery than it is holiday. It just happens to be centered around the holidays. But honestly, if you took the store out and you made the store like a different kind of store and you set it in the summer, you've just got a plain old mystery. Like, it's not all centered around Christmas. So definitely check that out. Okay. And then I wanted to talk about unwrapping Christmas Mia's prints. So listen, I wasn't gonna watch it. I wasn't gonna watch it. I have now watched that movie 4 times. I loved it. And I'll tell you why I loved it. Why I loved it is because I think it's centered around a Christmas romance. That the main character, Mia, loves reading historical fiction, and she kind of fantasizes about this Prince character in this book, and then in real life things kind of parallel to what she was reading in the book. And so people question whether her imagination has gone crazy or the person that she has fantasized about is real. But he's real, right? He's real. And everybody figures out at some point. But I connected so much to this show. I am not sure that it's different. It's a whole lot different. There are a lot of things that are very tropey about the movie, right? She was raised by her grandmother. The guy was raised in this like prominent family who had expectations of him. I mean, it's almost like any royal Hallmark movie, right? Where you have the prince who has all these expectations on his life. He's supposed to take the throne. That's his destiny, but he wants to fall in love outside of being pushed together with someone that he grew up with, just because the parents said you're getting married. That's not who he wants to marry, and they don't want to marry, and blah blah blah. So there's a lot. Like, that's the typical royal movie. So honestly, you're going to see a lot of that in Mia's Prince. So what made it different for me? I think what made it so much different for me, like if you're a romance writer especially, or if you're a reader of romance, which I am both, I would say that I connected with this movie over the love of a book and a story, and how alive that story kind of makes you feel, and your imagination and things kind of going off. Like, I'm always in my mind. I'm rarely on the earth. There's always something twirling around in my brain, and there's always a story twirling around in my brain. So I'm rarely, like, people would think I'm insane, except for that I'm a writer, right? So I think I connected with that part of the story. So if you are a lover of romance, if you're a lover of historical romance, if you're a lover of romance novels, then I think that you will connect very much with Unwrapping Christmas Mia's Prince. I did not connect with Natalie's story as much. I will see how I feel about Ashley Newbrough, and I love her. Like, she's one of my favorite actresses on the Hallmark Channel. I love Ashley Newbrough. So I'll see how I connect to her, because if I love her as an actress and I don't connect to the movies, then I know there's something else. But whatever element they needed me to connect to in Mia's Prince, I connected 100%. I watched it 4 times. I'm going to watch it this evening. I'm going to write to that movie. That's how much I connected with it. Again, it's not a perfect movie. It's very tropey, but what you need is a connection, and that's my connection point with that movie, and I loved it. All right. So anyway, now let's get to Christmas in July, what everybody wants to talk about. All right. So I am going to start with Monday, today. And I didn't say it before, but what I'm going to say now is this is going to be a blooper day. so that I can get this episode online and, in your face, in your faces before the week is out. I'm going to make this a blooper day so that I don't have to do a whole lot of editing, right? Anyway, first I really want to talk about yesterday. I don't know if you watched yesterday. Let me tell you some of the stuff I watched yesterday. I watched Just in Time for Christmas at 6 a.m. That was Eloise Mumford. I love her. I love her. Then I watched Sense, Sensibility, and Snowmen yesterday. I watched Unwrapping Christmas, Mia's Prince. I watched it for the 3rd time, and then I watched it again after that. I did not watch Holidays because I have watched Holidays to death, and I did not feel like the need to watch it. And then One Royal Holiday came on, or was supposed to come on. I don't know if it actually came on. I didn't watch. I think I fell asleep by then. So I was knocked out for the last movies of Christmas in July for Sunday. So for today, we've got Christmas CEO at 8 a.m., right? I will probably have that on. My Southern Family Christmas comes on. Then the Christmas contest with John Brotherton and Candace Cameron Bure. I actually really like that movie. Christmas Under Wraps is coming on after that. That's another movie I'll watch. Right Before Christmas, that's with Tony DeVito is in that movie, right? I'll probably watch that one. Christmas in Notting Hill. I will not watch that one. I've told you guys that's not one of my favorite movies. There's reasons for that, which I'm sure I've talked about a million times. Then Christmas at Sea comes on. They do 2 episodes of Christmas at Sea. Then they do Holiday Touchdown, which the Chiefs Love Story, which comes on, and then It's Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve. So that's one of my favorite movies, obviously. The singing in that one is just phenomenal. So if you haven't watched it and you're up, watch it. It's good. All right, Tuesday. This is some really good stuff. This is one of my favorite days, I think. So Tuesday begins with A Family for Christmas. I love A Family for Christmas. Lacey Chabert. That's probably one of the first Christmas movies. I would consider that a classic, right? That's one of those classic Christmas movies that if you haven't seen it within the season, you don't feel like you've really had the right Christmas movie season, right? The Royal Nanny comes on after that. I absolutely love that. Rachel Skarsten played, her British accent was so on point to me. And because I watch a lot of, like BBC, and so my ear is tuned to the accent, and I wondered, like, how did she get it so right? And so it turns out that her mother is from the UK. I think they live in Canada now, but her mom is from the UK, so she's probably grown up with that accent, listening to her mother, and she let me tell you, she knocked that accent out. That accent to me was like a character. It was a character in and of itself. So good. She was phenomenal in that movie. So I really loved The Royal Nanny, and I want to say it was one of my top 10 movies when it came out a couple years ago. Then after the Royal Nanny, we get into a Wes Brown day. It is a Wes Brown day. So if you love Wes Brown, you're gonna love this day. I love Wes Brown, so it's a great day for me. Christmas Cookies with Jill Wagner, Wes Brown. Check Into Christmas with Rachel Boston and Wes Brown. A Nashville Christmas Carol with Jesse Schramm and Wes Brown. And then Haul Out the Holly. To, both of them, right? So they're going to have Haul Out the Holly and then Haul Out the Holly Lit Up. Okay? Two Wes Brown movies where he played that quirky character in there. That was kind of the antithesis of the characters that he's played in all the previous movies. And then Deck the Walls, Wes Brown. So it is definitely Wes Brown Tuesday. On Wednesday, we've got Trading Up Christmas, Time for Her to Come Home for Christmas, A Reason for the Season. That's Taylor Cole and Kevin McGarry. Christmas at Pemberley Manor with Michael Brady and Jessica Lowndes. That moves kind of into classic Christmas movie territory for me. If I only had Christmas, if I only had another movie to watch in that place, that's probably the only movie I can definitely say I don't like on Hallmark Channel. The only one I really truly dislike so much that I will change and watch anything else except that movie. Did not love that movie at all. But three really good ones coming on after that. We've got Three Wiser Men and a Boy, a new classic, Unwrapping Christmas Mia's Prince is coming on again Wednesday. So if you don't catch it, or if you didn't catch it over the weekend, catch it Wednesday. I really love that movie. If you're a romance novel lover, you're going to love that. And then Never Kiss a Man in a Christmas Sweater. You know, that's a book. I have the book. Every time I see a movie and I know that it comes from a book, I always buy the book. So Never Kiss a Man in a Christmas Sweater is actually a book. So if you have not read the book, read the book. I have it on my Kindle. I started reading it. I haven't finished it. Anyway, now we're going to take a quick break, but I'll be back in a minute to talk about more of Christmas in July. Be right back. It's Christmas in July, and what better way to spend it than reading a holiday story that begins in July and takes us all the way through the big day? As Nikki approaches her 50th birthday, Christmas in July, a sudden revelation sparked by more than just summer heat sends her life into a tailspin. The achievements she once prided herself on, a home, a car, now feel hollow. Her vision board, once a hopeful map for the future, now seems like wasted effort. Her job is no longer fulfilling. Nikki's got it bad. To top it off, her boyfriend Smith proposes, but she's not even sure about him. What should be a celebratory milestone becomes a plunge into despair and a brush with her guardian angel, Jesus, and some sweet potato pie. You've got to read the book to find out the details. I'm just saying. Her guardian angel delivers an ultimatum: find her second act by Christmas Eve. Failure means she'll spend the rest of her life with dark days. I mean, who wants to live the rest of their life in dark days? With fear of eternal hot flashes threatening her days and nights, she takes on the challenge. Embarking on her second act leads Nikki into the gravitational pull of Evan Goodman, the hot doctor who makes her feel content, and Jordan Devlin, her first love who ignites passion or a dangerous spark. I mean, in the game of love, who can tell the difference? Caught between the safety of contentment and, well, fire, Nikki must make heart wrenching choices. Time ticks away as she navigates the path from Christmas in July to Christmas Eve, desperately seeking her true calling, chasing her dreams, and discovering which romantic interest will help her bloom into the best version of herself. The Nick Before Christmas is a hopeful romantic comedy with a little bit of Jesus and sweet potato pie, and a whole lot of self discovery. This enchanting narrative is the perfect holiday read to fill your heart with the warmth of Christmas love. And now, back to Chicks on Christmas Flicks. And welcome back to Chicks on Christmas Flicks. In the previous segment, we talked about Christmas in July, and I told you a little bit about Unwrapping Christmas Mia's Prince and Mistletoe Murders. In this segment, we're going to finish up with Christmas in July for week 3. Okay, so on Thursday, we're going to kick off with another Lacey Chabert movie. That is going to be A Wish for Christmas at 8 a.m. Kind of love it, kind of not. Christmas at Castle Heart, I love. That comes on at 10. A Christmas Love Story. Let me tell you, that is one of those heartstring puller movies. If you haven't seen it, definitely something that you'll want to watch. It's definitely something that you'll want to watch. All right, The Gift of Peace with Nikki DeLoach. I have to say, I have actually not watched that movie yet, so I will probably watch that movie for a change. It just seemed so sad, and the holidays get me. A lot of times I'm sad during the holidays, which is why I watch happy Christmas movies. Because my mom passed away, right? But so I didn't watch The Gift of Peace because somebody in the movie, from what I saw, had passed away, and she was kind of recovering from the death, and it was too much for me to watch at the time, but I may watch it now. Happy Holidays. This is a repeat in the Christmas in July season. Jessica Lowndes and then Ezra Moreland. Ezra Moreland, if you remember, he won Mr. Christmas, and that was his first movie. And he is doing a second movie with Hallmark, so that's kind of exciting. Holiday Mismatch comes on after that at 8 p.m. The Christmas Notes, absolutely a Christmas classic and one of my favorite Christmas movies on the Hallmark Channel. And then at 10 o'clock, Jingle Bell Run. All right. Then Friday. So Friday, listen to this. Good stuff coming Friday. So it starts with a Blue Ridge Mountain Christmas, which I think that's Ben Ayers and Rachel E. Cook. I believe that's who's in that one. Sealed with a List is the next one. That is Katie Finley. I love Katie. A Very Vermont Christmas is Katie LeCook. So we've got back-to-back Katies, but different Katies. And then Christmas for Keeps. Ashley Newborough, I believe, is in that one. Small Town Christmas, Ashley Newborough. Flipping for Christmas, Ashley Newborough. So we've got a little Ashley Newborough marathon going on there. At 8 p.m., Crown for Christmas, one of my favorites. And then Sugar Plum comes on after Crown for Christmas. That's at 10 o'clock. And then following Yonder Star, which, it's not one of my favorite movies from this year. But hey, if you love it, that's great. Saturday is a day, big day of movies, okay? So Saturday, and they've got some good ones playing. I'm telling you, this is a day I'll probably be locked in the entire day. Okay. A Bride for Christmas. All right, that's what starts. Ariel Kebbel, love her. Andrew Walker, love him. Dickens of a Holiday. That's Christopher Palaha. Let me tell you, he played the heck out of that movie. He acted his behind off in that movie, and I loved it. I actually love seeing him in a more, I think, rich role, right? It was very rich. It was a complex character, and he played it to the hilt. Loved it. Once Upon a Christmas Miracle. Loved that movie. That's one of my favorites. Leah's Perfect Gift. Absolutely one of my favorites. And I believe that was one of my top 5 from last season. I love that movie. A Christmas Detour. That's Candace Cameron Bure. The Sweetest Christmas is at 4 p.m. Lacey Chabert. At 6 p.m. Twas the Day Before Christmas. Not one of my favorites, but not bad. And then at 8 p.m. Unwrapping Christmas, Lily's Destiny. Ashley Newborough. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one. Then at 10 o'clock is Unwrapping Christmas, Mia's Prince. That comes on again. So if you haven't seen it any of the other times, you get to watch it this time. And then you have a 90s Christmas, right? Okay. That's going to be midnight. All right. And then Sunday, we've got a lot going on Sunday. This is going to be a good day too. All right. So then we go on to Sunday. And this is overnighter, where we get our movies overnight. So we get An Unexpected Christmas. Bethany Joy Lynn's, Tyler Hines. That's like a can't miss. The Holiday Sitter, Jonathan Bennett comes on. Love it. A Dog Named Christmas. That is one of those Christmas classics. I think it was like in the early 2000s that was created. Christmas Everlasting at 8 a.m. I can't remember what year this came out, but what I can tell you was it was definitely in my top 5. I love that movie. It is a Christmas mystery, and if you sit down and watch it, do not get up, do not turn your head, because you will miss the mystery in this movie, and it is so good. It's so good. So if you love a good Christmas mystery, that is one to watch for sure. Picture a Perfect Christmas comes on after that. Then The Christmas Wasp, Lacey Chabert. Oh my gosh, and I love Will. So Lacey and Will together is like they're dynamite together. Then Trivia at St. Nick's. Then Christmas on Call, another one of my top, I want to say it was my top 10 or top 5 movies. I love that movie. Then Unwrapping Christmas, Lily's Destiny comes on again for a repeat. And then we have back-to-back holidays, of course, again. And I think we should be getting close to the end, not at the end. We should be getting close to the end of holidays. Let me tell you something. Like I said, if it were in fact a movie and not a series, it would have been my number 1 Christmas movie. 100%. I loved it. Then we have Our Holiday Story, Warren Christie. If you love Warren Christie, you're going to love that one. And he was in that with Nikki DeLoach, I believe. And then A Veteran's Christmas, which is going to be a repeat. I just finished watching this yesterday. So A Veteran's Christmas comes on again. We know Eloise Mumford's in that one. I love that one. Well, we're really the stars from, I can't remember the guy's name, but they're stars from A Christmas with Holly. So this was their kind of follow-up movie, and everybody was so thrilled, including me, was so thrilled to see them back on screen together in A Veteran's Christmas, which I loved. I always love Eloise Mumford's movies, so I really loved her. She was my favorite character in that, if you couldn't tell. Anyway, so that is going to do it for today. Gosh, we have one more week of Christmas in July. One more week. And then I hope Christmas movie news picks up so that I have a lot more to talk about in August. August, September, probably slow down a little bit. And then October, we're right back at it. Okay. Anyway. So I'm really excited. I'll be back next Friday. Next Friday, I'm going to be back to talk about what is coming up for Christmas in July for the week 4. Okay. If you missed when your favorite movie was coming on, listen to the show again or check my daily chick picks on Twitter and Instagram. Now, I will be honest, I have not been consistent with it just because when I'm not consistent or if I don't put something out, it is because my day is crazy. Today is about to be absolute lunacy. Okay. I'm just, praying for the grace to make it through without wanting to kill people. Not killing people, because I never would kill people, but I want to kill them. So let's hope I make it through without wanting to kill people. Thank you to my show editor, my music and show editor, Will B. He created all the custom music for the show. He's at Wildcard Music, and you can find his IG page in the show notes. Until next time, remember, at Chicks on Christmas Flicks, we can never have too many Christmas movies. We can only have not enough Christmas movies. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave a review on your favorite platform, and tell your Christmas movie loving friends about this show. Where can you find it? I'm so happy you asked. Podcast platforms include Amazon, Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, and many, many more. Check the link in the show notes. You can follow the show on Twitter and IG at Chicks Christmas Flicks with X's. Okay, Chicks Christmas Flicks. Thank you all for listening in, and I will see you next week for sure. Next week. Be here or be square.